Do you also had problem with your keyless ignition on your Triumph, where suddenly the bike can't find your fob? Reliable, unreliable, it comes and goes, or for me, it just stopped working. I tried to find a solution. I googled and I found a video on YouTube that showed me how to clean the contact surfaces for the battery. The battery connector is actually not attached to the circuit board, so you can improve the connection. What I did, I followed the instructions in that video, and it got slightly better for a short while. Then it just got worse, and now for the last month I haven't been able to start my bike without pressing the fob. So I put pressure on the fob and I got contact, but that resulted in going away. The bike said lost key, key out of range. Actually it was in my pocket all the time. I knew it, but my bike didn't. So today I tried to solve the problem. I decided to take the fob apart and see if I could clean the surfaces, and I'll show you what I did and how it worked out. Keyless is working when it's clean contacts. So this is how it was done. Okay, so this is how you take apart and clean your key fob. What you need is some kind of electronic screwdriver. You need a 1.5 hexagon bit. You need a number 6 Torx bit. And I also used a tiny flat screwdriver. You'll see why. And we'll start with the 1.5 hexagon. And we take off the key, the battery lid. This is consumer approved. You can do this because you are allowed to change battery. And from here, when taking out the battery, we just pull it out with a tiny flat screwdriver. Now we start with the part that's the magical things happen. You can see here you have 3 screws, Torx number 6. So we take them out one by one. That's number 2. And we do number 3. So 3 screws out. Here you have a tiny sticker. It says 433 megahertz, YA 108, blah blah blah. Under this tiny sticker we have to peel this off. We have 4th screw. And now you remove the 4 screws that holding the covers together, but you can't take the fob apart because under this silver colored cover, it's actually plastic. You have 2 more screws. So here I took the tiny screwdriver. You can use a tiny knife or something, and gently try to lift the plastic cover. It's glued on and attached with 2 latches in the both ends. So you gently try to bend it open, and you can see it comes off. It's just glued. And here you can see the round the round little cylinder, it's the light that you have a tiny LED light on the circuit board. You also have a black O-ring that's for make a seal connection. Now you can see we have 2 more screws. We take them out too, and also Torx number 6. These screws are just slightly longer than the 4 on the battery side. Here you can remove the small Triumph push button. And now be aware, because you have a spring on the physical key that holds the physical key. So when you take out the screws, make sure to not slip this little spring. You also have the key ring for the fob. And now you can gently take out the circuit board. Beware of static electricity. On this part, I think you can see the connector for the positive of the battery is connected to the one of the halves of the chassis for the fob. It just has a push connection to the circuit board. On the other side, here you have the negative connector. This one just slides off from the circuit board. And here you have the connectors for the negative. So these surfaces you need to clean. The 2 on the bottom and this one. I used Series C electronic cleaner and just some cotton buds. Spray on little of the electronic cleaner, oops, and gently wipe off the surfaces so you get rid of all grease and dust and grime that's connected. 2 on the other side and 2 on the upper side for the negative connector, because it's got small tiny clamps that slides on the circuit board. And for the upper part, it's just 1 push connector. So here you just have 1 surface, and down here you have 4, so totally 5. After that, the connector for the negative is quite hard to clean, because you can't get in with the cotton buds, but you can slightly just spray on that one to make sure you solve everything that's greasy and could make a bad connection. Slide the connector back on. It's a little bit fiddly, like that, and mount the fob again. So back with the circuit board. The push button and the spring, you can see on the upper half of the fob lid there's a tiny groove, and on the spring it's a tiny pin, and that pin goes into that hole. Then you have 3 notches on the key, and you have 3 notches, 2 aligned. Those are for the opening and shutting, and the third one, a solo slot, is for the solo pin and that's to hold the spring tension. So we slide this one back over here and twist it so we get tension. Beware to tension to the right side. Put it at the top of the circuit board half, like that. And don't forget to mount the keyring, like that. And just screw back together, like this. This side with the silver cover, the plastic silver cover, should be the longer of the 6 screws. Like that. Nice and tight, not too tight because it's plastic. We put in the little Triumph button, just lying there, and push the silver cover back on, like that. Insert the battery, and back with the 6 tiny screws. Oh, sorry, the 4 shorter screws. All the 6 screws are tiny, but these 4 are the shorter ones. Oh, this one was fiddly. They're quite tiny and tiny tools. And if you are careful when you take off that little sticker that covers this one, you can actually put it back on, like that. Oh, comes off. And back with the battery lid. Work done. All right. This is the fob in my Scrambler, and we turn on the fob. Now it's on. I put it in my pocket. Now let's see, and ignition instantly, and I turn it off. No problem at all. Turn the fob off. Nothing. And this was the problem when I had the bad connection to the battery. Every time I pushed even if the fob was on, green light on the fob, I pushed the ignition, it just said you got the red light on the display, on the top of the display. So turn the fob on, ignition. So instead of buying a new fob, take it apart. It's totally 7 screws, a little bit of fiddly work, and you need some electronic cleaner to clean the contact surfaces. Work done. Great.